Welcome to Skullforcerc RC. Here's my current build. It's a Bixler 2. And I've had a couple issues with the Bixler 2, but this is what step I am in the build. I've got the gear set up and mounted. I reinforced it with some wooden dowels. They're glued in there with epoxy. I'm using an aligned speed controller because my Turnigy speed controller fried. So here's the speed controller, the Turnigy. It's totally fried. It won't even turn on anymore. There's no signs of any damage. It just smells terrible. It smells like burnt plastic. I plugged in a bad servo to the receiver. It started smoking and fried my speed controller. So I pulled my aligned speed controller off of my 450, which is not being used anymore because, well, it's a piece of junk. So my FPV system is a Foxtech HD camera, and here's the control module. I'll plug it in for you so you can see what it looks like. Okay, what does it say? Horizon HD. So here's the module, and it will be transmitting and recording at the same time. It's got a little SD card on the front, so you can record that and use your HD footage. All I've got to do is hook up my transmitter to the back here, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the transmitter. And here is the little cover that would go in here, and I'm thinking about mounting the transmitter here or up here, something like that. Originally I was going to use a GoPro. That's why I made that wooden stand, and I was going to put a GoPro up here, but this thing weighs a freaking ton. So I decided to go with the Foxtech system. It's a lot lighter. Even with the external battery that you're going to have for this, it's a lot lighter. And most likely, I'm going to be running these Turnigy Nanotech. These are 3-cell packs. That's going to be my onboard for the plane, and I'm going to be using a smaller version, and I think I'm going to mount it up here somewhere so basically everything's going to be accessible from the outside, so I can plug all my power in, just bleep, and then I can click the button and then it'll turn on my transmitter. And I'll already have this plugged in, and the battery will be down inside here. Everything else is pretty much stock. I'm going to be running flaps. I still need to run my flap servo in here, but I run into some issues when my other servo fried 650 or 65 mgs. It just started smoking and then it cooked my speed controller. I'm thinking about ripping the servos off of my 450. That should be a decent flap servo. And so then I'll have a full FPV rig. Yeah, it's a mess. The workstation is a mess. But so far, I mean, it's a pretty decent build. Haven't run into too many issues with the way this thing gets put together. My gripe with the elevator is, here, listen to this. The hinges on the elevator are really loud. I think I'm going to take them apart and try to clean off some of the excess plastic because it's just like scraping. It sounds terrible. The servos that it came with seem pretty decent for the ailerons. I need to find a transmitter and a receiver for my FPV, so I'm going to do some research and try to figure out what's the best frequency and all that kind of crap. If you have any suggestions, please post a comment down below. And for my first video, I figured I'll just show you my build. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully in the future I will be getting some FPV done with this baby.